I don't care if it's in cleaning or if it's in tech or wherever it is, man, we're in the people business. And guess what? As people, we got flaws. We all got flaws. We're honest with ourselves. So the key in all this is just being very transparent enough to say, hey, this our goal is to do X, Y, and Z, but we're not. I can't sit here and tell you.
Welcome back. I'm Dylan, your host here. We are going to dive in on something extremely special today. I had a chance to sit down with Jason Lee here last week and really break in on his story and dive in deep on it. And that's what we want to share with you today. He's a brilliant man, incredible journey. I can't wait for him to share this more with you today because I gained so much from it just for a short period of time. I know I'm going to gain so much more insight and wisdom on marketing and growing your business and the sales aspect of it as well. But most importantly, the mindset, the challenges he came up with, and how he solved those problems to create the pathway that is his life right now, the extreme success that he's been able to create from it. So I can't wait for him to share his journey here. Without further ado, Jason, let's hear where you are, man, what you do, and how you got there.
Dylan, thank you. Number one, first for I would say just your follow up. Again, and being able to do this on a platform where you're helping other people. I think that's the important piece. Again, my name is Jason Lee, CEO of Lee Building Maintenance. We are based here in the Maryland area, Frederick, Maryland to be exact. We sit about 50 miles west of DC and Baltimore. And I guess the business that we're in the day to day, I would say we're in the building facility management space. Core business is janitorial, a lot of cleaning services. And I think your other question you asked is, how did we get here or the journey? For me, it started off some years ago where I was working at jobs before I kind of became the entrepreneur. I had the entrepreneur gene in me from coming I would say the wrong way. Let's just say that. And then what I was able to do with that gene was to take that. And one day I saw a gentleman when I was working at a fast food restaurant or Burger King in our local market, cleaning windows, and I wasn't busy, and I just asked a simple question at one point, was just like, hey, how many different accounts do you have? And, he kind of told me they had a couple hundred. And I remember taking the invoice he had provided me that I never really looked at all because, again, it wasn't open to my preview. I just sent it to the home office. And I went back to the adding machine and it was like $68.25. And I remember just adding that up and I times it by 50. And I said, hey, you know what? Wow, I'm doing the wrong thing. And then really within a few days, we had two window clients, and then we took that window business into cleaning restaurants and things of the sort. So, you asked about that piece. That was kind of the start. I went full time in this business in 2005, and then what I did was I had a partner from 2008 to 2015, and then what we did is we relaunched our company now, Lee Building Maintenance. Will be 10 years old next May. So the progression of just starting I call it a window business to now cleaning facilities that, under one roof we may just have, we clean millions and millions of square feet. All that started with a window cleaning brush, a squeegee, and some solution. And here we are now.
That's incredible. You said something earlier. I think this is so very powerful because most people, myself included, when I first started, get stuck in this dreaming state, never do the thing to get them
Yeah.
there. But you said you talked with that guy. He shared 50 accounts is what he's got. You looked it up, you did the math. Then you said the next couple days you got two clients, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's powerful. So what was it that really made you take action, made you move, rather than just kind
Um,
of, and planning?
and I think probably in my mind at the time, I knew, it wasn't dumb. So I think the process was just probably figuring out, could I do it? That was the first thing. I think after watching him, I went, okay, that's pretty simple. I think I can learn, or if we use the terminology now, fail forward. I could do that. And I think the key then was just thinking of who did I kind of know that if I went to them or I knocked on the door, that they would give me, and I was young then, give me the opportunity to do that service for them.
Mhm.
And I think I was just kind of going through a thing of, my first was a State Farm agent. I had another a friend of ours. My mom actually was going to the doctor, I know the doctor she was going to before she passed. I remember asking that doctor, "Hey, can I just do your windows?" And it started there. And I think that was majorly when you kind of go back. It was just I I knew I could hustle or sell. I just had to be confident enough to kind of go, "Hey, can I do this for you?" And I remember just going, and they said, "Sure." And I think one time I gave some services away. I was just, I was knocking on doors, so many doors, places that were dirty, that I just said, I got this thing. I can't do this all the time, but maybe I'll just start by showing you what it can look like. And they were like, "Oh wow," that led me to that. So I think, there's many ways to. I mean, that's a whole session and just diving into that. But I think overall, you just gotta go do. I think most entrepreneurs or those folks will fail forward, and don't get stuck in the minutia. Don't get stuck in you trying to think you need to get everything perfect. Just go out there and try it. And that's what I did.
Brilliant. I love it, man. I love it. And the success shows. Man, that's how much, maybe you can share this, maybe you can't. What'd you guys do last year? I'm just curious.
Are you talking about from a revenue perspective?
Yeah.
From a revenue perspective, I would say we're north of 9 million.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
0 to 9 mil. That's killer.
yeah.
Started with two. Started with two. Started with a spark.
Start with two clients, and
That's
here we
amazing.
are.
Congratulations, man. That's truly
Thank you.
incredible. Yeah. So how has your clientele transformed over the years? Like when you first started, you said you were knocking on some doors like State Farm, right? How has it transformed, or has it really? The person
Oh
you
yeah, it's definitely transformed. We no longer are doing little like storefront glass anymore. I think our main business, core business now is really the janitorial, the taking care of the reoccurring opportunities every day, and that's changed big time. Again, medical, manufacturing, office space are our verticals that we're in. Um, so it's changed from just being in the restaurants or worrying about a storefront glass being done to really making sure you have a sophisticated team that's handling multiple services.
that completely different levels. That's
Yeah.
cool. Cool. So as you get into that, then what would you say mindset wise? I'm very curious. From where you were building that first business to where you are now and managing your current business and thinking about growth as well. What's the difference between that Jason versus this Jason?
Oh boy, got some gray hairs.
You look
And
great.
I think it's experience as well. I think it's as you grow and scale, it's also challenging yourself to know that you can hit these different plateaus. And I think the other big thing was just the team. I think that's a big thing is that you can't do this by yourself. So the key now is hiring a great team around you that can execute on the things that the vision that was put on in front of me. I just always kind of think, okay, this is where we got to go. It's now about putting the proper team. And I think as your business grows and you have the cash and also the plans to hire the talent, you move in that area. That's how you scale. And you scale in that way. It does take proper people on the right seat on the bus to make things work. It's not all about me.
Yeah, amen. Love it. Not a solopreneur, right? But build.
Nah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Okay, so so you mentioned a little bit about what you guys offer. I wanna share this with anybody close to Jason's hometown, Jason's area there. I want to share this opportunity with you guys. That way you can learn about what his offer is. Would love to hear it. I want to hear not just what it is, but how you constructed it. I'm nerdy in that way, right? But most importantly, I want to share that too with the world. So, what's your offer, and with that, what's that big thing you guys help with?
Well, I think Dylan, one of the biggest things that and I'm probably not always the best at this, but if anything, we're offering facility services to the healthcare, manufacturing, and office space. We're definitely looking for buildings that are 50,000 square feet and above. And I always say this: it's all about finding the pain point. And if you're dissatisfied with your service or you just want to be able to have a second opinion on something, please look us up and we can help you. That'd be great. One thing I always tell people is that in this business, it's about finding the right fit. It's all about communication. No one just wants to turn over that size complexity to anybody. And for us, we would just, I would say we hope we can be the fit. I would tell everybody there's so many buildings out there. We can't be everything to everybody, but maybe we can be that fit for you. And, you know, that I'd say be my pitch. I'm very low key in that. I want to find folks that want to partner with us that, we can help them out. So, hopefully that came off the right way. But I think if people understand me and my personality and our team, this is how we operate. We like to find folks that we can do business with and partner with.
Love it. Partnership rather than just customer.
Yeah, we don't. I tell you, I don't need to oversell. That's not my goal. Our goal is, we got to come in, we got to do the job. This is when you take on opportunities like this. It is every day the mundane thing that most people don't want to do. Nobody wants to pull trash, clean toilets. It's not sexy. But being able to deploy the right team and the right plan for you is important.
Yeah, very true. Can we dive in on that for a little bit? Because that's
Yeah,
powerful,
yeah,
man. That's
yeah,
so good. I know most people really start and they think, man, I got to be the smoothest talker. I got to say the right word tracks, all this stuff for sales, right? But what you said there and what you do, and you've shown it because you've shown the success behind it because look at what you've created from it. It's so powerful, this service mentality rather than just what can I get from you, right? Rather than how can I help you? What can I solve for you?
yeah.
How'd you get there? Because I got a
Right.
feeling back.
That's a good point. No, I've never been. I was telling you, I am not a. I don't want to be sold to. I'm that person. I'm somebody bad. Somebody calls my phone or sends me an email like, oh boy, get a gazillion of that. It's understanding what our needs are and seeing if it's a proper fit. And I think I tell you, when I meet people and go through the process, I'm also transparent and honest with them. If someone says, "Hey, I'm looking for a perfect cleaning company, a perfect opportunity," man, I always tell everybody I want to buy them up. So let me know if you find a perfect one, because what organization is there? I don't care if it's in cleaning or if it's in tech or wherever it is. Man, we're in the people business, and guess what? As people, we have flaws. We all got flaws. We're honest with ourselves. So the key in all this is just being very transparent enough to say, "Hey, this our goal is to do X, Y, and Z, but we're not. I can't sit here and sell you perfect. I wish I could, but what I am going to tell you is you're going to get the best customer service, the best things that we can make sure that these issues aren't reoccurring. That's how we're able to stay in business. Otherwise, we can't. So I think from a sales perspective, you're asking that question about people having to be a great talker. I just think your word is everything. Whatever you put out there, just make sure you follow through. Be honest about it. If you can't perform to that level, don't go out there and stretch yourself. That's a difference. There's a difference between trying to stretch yourself to do something versus stretching yourself and you ain't ready. Two different things. But if you're ready, if you know that, hey, it's like someone saying, hey, you know what, we clean a 10,000 square foot building, and my goal is to get to a 50, 100,000 square foot building. I'm not going to ever tell you you can't do it. Understand what it is so that when the time does come and you stretch yourself, you know what all comes with that, the finances, the responsibility, all that comes with that to be ready for it. And just understand your word is everything. My word is everything. If something fails, it's on me.
Man, that's power right there. I just had to let that sink in for a second. That was good. That's so good. So true,
It's
man.
not, I'm telling you, it's not, it's true. I mean, when it comes to scale, whenever, if from an entrepreneur perspective, no, so it's like right now, someone said, man, can you clean 3 million square feet all under one roof right now? Could you do it? And I had to really sit back and go, sounds good, looks good, but what does that mean to our operation? And understanding what that means to do it. So remember what you say, what you're going to do, how it happens versus you kind of chasing the money side of it. Um, you know, one thing I learned a long time ago was someone said, it wasn't about chasing money. It was just doing what you say you were going to do along the way, and the money will come. And I think that's so important.
Ooh. Builds integrity, at the least
Yeah,
character, which is
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
That's business to me.
Yeah. And that's to me, that's sales, right? I
There you go. Yeah,
yeah. Which is the same thing. Same thing. But
yeah,
yeah, different same different label. And you can even say, man, that's marketing, you know? That's just how
yeah,
you deal with people. That's how you work with people, you know? The cohesion, a win-win-win mentality. Everybody wins, you know? I
yeah.
like very powerful, man. That's good stuff. I appreciate you sharing that. So
Well,
where can
thank you.
people find you? Where can people find you?
Oh boy, I'm an old school person, which is funny. But if you need to find us from a company standpoint, website's always the big thing, which is www.leebuildingclean.com. And when you go on there, you have all of our information there to reach out. Um, I think that's probably the easiest. I mean, I know we have Facebook, and this is the other big thing about, I would say, you don't have to be great in all those things to earn a living.
Mm.
Not saying that you don't need them because we have them. I'm just being transparent to you in this moment by saying, man, I'm not as good as Dylan Smith here at how he probably does social media and all those other things. But that doesn't mean that you can't make a living. But what is good to have is to have someone who can help you with that if you're not good at that. So when someone asks me, I'm like, oh, you know what? I know we're on these platforms. I know, I know we have a Facebook page, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Okay, we got all those, but I always go back to, man, core business to me is, man, being able to be with folks one on one, letting them understand, having that relationship, build it. Um, Although it may sound old school, these devices are what they are. But over time, people, if you want long term, reoccurring relationship, it ain't always coming through here. It's coming through here by phone call and let's get together. But the social media is still, whatever you put out there has got to be what you say you're going to do. If it's something else that's bogus, it ain't. It's going to be wrong, and somebody's going to pull you apart. So hopefully I didn't say too much there. But as far as that, but I think that's a very key point when we get to, man, social media. I mean, it's a different, and everybody's different business models of, if it's business to business or business or B2C or B2B, it's going to be all be different. And in our business, it's relational. It is, it is definitely somewhere where we're not trying to go after 1,000 people at this time because that would cripple our business. But we have a well-defined target we are going for us to make our numbers. So that's a whole nother topic right there. That
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
they got to understand their market.
Yeah. Market strategy, the
Yeah,
approach, rather than
yeah,
just picking up spaghetti, throwing it at the wall, hoping it sticks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think starting out as an entrepreneur, we all, I did that. I mean, we all figured out I was trying to clean everything. I was trying to clean anything moving until I realized that, man, you know what? This doesn't fit in our operational plan. And then you had to make those changes that every customer is not for us. But you couldn't tell me that many years ago because it was just like, man, we have to get this money. I got to do this. I got to grow. And then you found out, oh, wow, these type of facilities just aren't in our wheelhouse. And this is our focus. And it's a big deal. When you can get to that with that ideal profile customer you're looking for, man, you know where to put your fishing pole at. You know where to go.
That's exactly right. I preach the same thing too. I struggled with that when I first started. I know I'm still young in the entrepreneurial game, but I know, man, I've experienced some of these things too, and it's just like, yeah, he's preaching the truth here. But most people don't really fully understand. I know I had a business partner that literally scrutinized me and called me an idiot for saying I only want to do business with one type of person. This is my guy or girl. I'm only going after them. I can't serve everybody. Called me an idiot for that. There's a lot of people that think like that, and that's my point. There's a lot of people that think I just need money. I just need it coming in, and
Right?
then I'll figure out who I serve best. It's the wrong way to do it, and it's going to just cripple you. It's crippled me in the past. It
Yeah.
shut down one of my businesses in the past. I had to really learn real quick. Okay, who do
Yeah.
I do the best work with? Because I'm sure you're about to say this too, man. But man, when you find that person, you get the best reviews. You do the best work. You give the best customer experience. You create the best bond, and then you can be extremely creative in that space. You allow your mind to open, and you allow your heart to open in that too. And
Yeah.
that's when you can post that to the world and show, and then bring more people in that are just like that. Because they're not the only
Yeah.
person out there. There's many more people that fit
Yeah.
that avatar,
It's
right?
funny, if you reverse engineer that in a way with, I think about Southwest Airlines and their type of planes they have, and you kind of go, man, okay, why do they do that? And it's funny if you just re-engineer that the way we're in our bit, same thing. If we have this certain clientele that has a certain thing and we do it well, we can do more of it. The more we buy of one thing, the better our pricing can be. There's so many things that come into knowing your customer profile and what you're going to go do because there's so many things you can do in that. And I think Enough people don't think about that. And again, I always go, I get it. At the beginning of most of our businesses, we are just trying to win and gain business. But then there does come a time when you got to stop and go, man, I'm kind of all over the place, or I'm missing things, or you start to see where maybe margins are shrinking because you're all over the place. But then when you really get hyper focused on that, synergies come to play, and it's like, oh wow, I know when I walk in here, numbers should be, margins should be. I mean, you can do it in your sleep.
Ooh, that's cool. That sounds like
Yeah.
winning at the game of business right there.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. I love it. I love it. Jason, thank you for your wisdom today. It's truly opened my eyes, and I hope for the listeners as well, open theirs as well. So, one last question for you, though. Do you have any final thoughts or anything that you'd like to share as well?
Again, I know you probably have a wide base of people who are viewing and are listening. And my biggest thing I tell a lot of people is, man, as an entrepreneur or someone who's launching a business or in the middle of your business right now, or on the opposite side, where eventually you may be like, man, I'm thinking succession plan and where do I go next? Just the biggest thing is just don't stop dreaming. I think we got to continue to keep dreaming, continue to keep pushing. Um, it's not for everybody, but if it's chosen for you and you do it well, enjoy it. It is, it's like about a risk reward, but it is rewarding as well because there's so many people you can help along the way. There's so many people that you can mentor along the way, and it gives you self-fulfillment. So those are my comments. Just keep on pushing. It may seem like it's a daunting task, but again, if everybody was going to be doing this, we'd have everybody doing it. But just remember that as well too, that there's a certain group. So, and you're a part of it.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. You are. You are. Great
Yeah.
stuff.
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
buddy.
I
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes, sir,
Well,
brother. Thank you so much.
until we connect again, Jason, I appreciate you,
All right.
man.
Take care.